This is going to be a very important topic. Most important thing that makes a bow shoot well is its ability to aim well. It's not form, because I've seen even top level professionals with goofy form smoke everyone. We're all biomechanically a little different. Some of us have long arms, short arms. Some of us has weird wrists. The tune of the bow is important, but it's not the most important. The most important thing is its ability to aim well, because if the bow is shot the exact same every single time, good tune or bad tune, you can sight it into the tune of the bow. What is most important, definitely its ability to aim. We're going to go over too short a draw length, too long a draw length. We're going to do this. So how do you know if your draw length's too long or too short? Well, it actually all boils down to your ability to aim. Some people are like, well, if you're leaning back, then your draw length's too long. Christopher Perkins is a great example. He kind of leans back in his shot. That dude's a freaking champion archer. I know it's going to help you. Things that I found that work for me when it comes to whether my draw length's too long, too short. So if the draw length's too long, we're going to look at pin float. But because these pins are so small, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a reference and this as a bullseye. So if your draw length is too long, what you'll find, no matter what you do with your stabilizer, you get these big, long, sweeping pin movements like this. Long and slow. Now, on the other end, if your draw length's a little too short, what you get is short, sporadic movements like this. You want to get it to where it's just dipping out or rising up. This stuff is bad. We need to fix that in the draw length. If you don't know what to do, it's better to have too short of draw length than too long. There's a million reasons for that. If you're a hunter, having a slight bend in your arm is better than having it overextended because of clothes. You're just gonna have a little bit more forgiveness, because when you shoot the bow, you want the bow to go away from you. So if you're extended and shooting too long, the bow goes to the left. If you're picking one or the other, it's better to have too short of a draw length than too long. What we want is that pin to park right there in the middle. What I actually like to do, get the bow to aim as well as it possibly can before I put anything on it, excluding the sight. Obviously, I have to put the sight on. I don't even put a peep sight in yet. I run this D-loop up and down this string until I get it to aim its absolute best. Either dead center, which works well for some bows. Recently, what I've been finding aim the best is at full draw with it completely naked. It almost feels like the bow wants to rise. I like that. I don't want it to set dead. I want it to kind of feel like it's rising. Then when I run a big stabilizer, it just frickin' locks in on that bullseye. In order to get it to feel like it's rising a little, I actually want my D-loop to be just a little bit above center. So you can measure from here to here, go dead center and work your way up. I like to go through about half the arrow is going through the top of the burger hole, sitting about halfway up. Again, I'm not cranking this very tight, by the way. Something else you're gonna wanna keep in your shop is a fork. Come and look at this D-loop right here. See that gap? Makes me nervous, because this is a 90-pound bow. What I like to do with the fork is I'll just come in, close that gap up a little bit. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I'm not tightening this down because I need to be able to roll this on the string without it separating the string. So a lot of guys will put on the stabilizers, do everything, they draw back like, oh, I need to make adjustments, and they add weight, put weight. But again, that's all good later. Start with the naked bow and then micro adjust this D-loop up and down the string until the bow doesn't move with no stabilizer. I want it to feel like at full draw that the bow is trying to rise on me. And so the way I found to do that, you just run that D-loop slightly above dead center. That bow feel like it's gonna rise up. So whenever you put out a stabilizer, that sucker just locks in. Let's see what we're working with here. Woo, we got a 94-pounder here. Let's see how she handles this. Wow, that is crazy. So I can draw it. Not gonna shoot it. I just wanted to make sure I could draw it before I put on the sight. Let's get the sight on. Actually really cool. I'm gonna draw back, film this, and put the pin right on that dot, and we're gonna see how she looks. Not actually bad. Run the D-loop up a little bit higher. Okay, so I take the fork, separate this knot a little bit. Gonna twist this up the string. Go, we moved it up just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Definitely better. So I'm gonna bring this back down and go lower, see if it's not better. It's worse, so I'll raise it back up. Again, I'm spending a lot of time on this because this is the most important part. Imagine if there's a sweet spot with the bow, no stabilizers on it at all, that pin parks in the middle. Then you add on stabilizers, then you balance the bow. Holy crap, you're talking about a good shooting bow. So anyway, I get excited about that. It's just really, really important because this is the foundation for the whole bow. I don't even know how well this tunes, but if I can't get it to aim well, you're not gonna hit anything. I don't care if it's the most forgiving bow in the world. You gotta get the bow to aim well. Woo, boys, that is good. That aimed like a boss. We've got the bow aiming really well. If you're still struggling, not getting it to aim well, try running your cams dead even. That's another way to get it to aim well. If you're getting a lot of dips out the bottom, you can run your top cam a little bit fast, and that'll help bring the bow up a little bit. Also try less let off. If you run 85% let off, you are a loser. Do not do 85% let off. I mean that. Run 80 to 75%.